Because this is about you, and it's about time. Covenant Health, for every moment.
Hello everyone, welcome to another award-winning edition of the Locker Room Chat. My name is John Williams and thank you for tuning in tonight, and I believe we got a good show that you'll enjoy. Tonight we are featuring Anderson County Wrestling, and my guest tonight is the head coach of the Anderson County Mavericks, Matt Sloan.
Yes, sir.
Matt, thank you for being here, and welcome to the chat.
Well, I appreciate you having me in Stone.
Mm-hmm. Yes, Matt, Coach Sloan, he's also brought in Stone Cummins, one of his top wrestlers with us, and we'll be chatting with him here in a little bit. But first, Coach Sloan, let's get to the big question of the day. What is your opinion on the University of Tennessee's football hire?
Well, I've been pretty wrapped up in wrestling the past little bit. I know it was Josh Heupel there out of UCF. He's done good things at UCF there, I guess. I don't want to run anybody down before they even get a chance to get going. I was kind of rooting for Coach Chadwell, honestly, from Coastal, but personally. But we'll see how he does. Give him a shot. See how he does.
Right. Of course, Coach Chadwell, an Anderson County graduate.
Sure.
Played football for the Mavericks, and as you mentioned, at Coastal Carolina, he's a AP Coach of the Year. And
yeah.
I heard Tennessee talk to him. I don't know how much in depth, but I also heard that they started their spring practice today.
Yeah, I heard that too.
And, his brother's one of the assistant coaches.
Yep. Defensive coordinator.
County.
Yep.
And, but yeah, Josh Heupel today named the 27th head coach in the history of the Tennessee Volunteers. And Coach Heupel, he's coming from Central Florida. And of course, last week, Tennessee hired Danny White, the athletic director at Central Florida. And Danny White today said that Coach Heupel was his first option. He's the only one he offered the job to, and he had an outstanding offense there at Central Florida in the top five the last 3 years offensively. Central Florida averages 43 points a game last season. His first year, he took over for Scott Frost in 2018. Of course, the year before, Central Florida went undefeated. And Coach Heupel came in from Oklahoma, where he had been an offensive coordinator. No, I think it was maybe in Missouri.
I think Missouri.
Yeah, Missouri.
Sounds right. Yep.
He was at Oklahoma for a while. Of course, he played there, led them to a national championship, and coached 10 years at Oklahoma. Then he was at Missouri as offensive coordinator. Came in, and his first year they had an undefeated regular season before they lost to LSU in a bowl game. So pretty excited about it. It's going to be a lot of fun to watch. See a lot of the spread offense. He likes to spread it out.
Mm-hmm. He's definitely been innovative offensively there at UCF. So, but SEC may be a little bit different.
Right.
We'll
Yeah,
see.
that's a good point. And I know a lot of the fans are sort of have mixed emotions right now about the hire, but I think Tennessee is between a rock and a hard place, so to speak.
Sure.
A lot of coaches are not beating the door down to come here right now with you got NCAA clouds hanging over you, possible sanctions coming up for the Volunteers. So as one caller I heard call in today, he said, well, Tennessee they swung for a home run and they hit a double, and that's not too bad. But you never know how a coach will turn out. I was excited when Coach Pruitt came in. He probably was as well. A lot of Tennessee fans were, and of course I get excited about all these new coaches. This is like our fifth new head coach since 2009. So
there's been some turnover.
Yeah, I wasn't too excited about Derek Newman.
Right.
But the other hires seem to be I was okay with. But Coach Heupel, he's got some head coaching experience. Not a Power 5 conference, but has some success there. So it should be a lot of fun, I think. Just get past these sanctions and see.
Right.
I saw where Eric Gray, he's in the transfer portal, and just saw where he's committed to Oklahoma now.
I hadn't seen that.
It's just breaking news, I think.
Yeah.
I think it's 3 players now be playing for Oklahoma. But so much for that. Let's talk some Anderson County wrestling here. Coach Sloan, once again, I want to thank you for coming out tonight. It's raining out a little bit, and of course yesterday is almost 70 degrees, and tomorrow it's going to feel like the 20s. So
East Tennessee weather.
Right, East Tennessee weather, it changes, and we haven't seen a lot of change this year in the weather. It's usually a more roller coaster than it is, but so far it's been pretty steady. But might get a little snow shower. But thank you and Stone for coming in, and if you would, Coach Sloan, just tell everybody out there a little bit about yourself.
Well, I was actually born in Kentucky. Lived there for first 8 years of my life, and then I grew up in a real small town in southwestern Virginia, Grundy, Virginia is the name of that town, and went to Grundy High School. And it's funny, we're talking about wrestling. Grundy's pretty much known for wrestling. That's one of the only things Grundy's known for. But we won my junior year. We won our 13th state championship in a row in wrestling.
Wow.
So we're pretty solid as far as wrestling goes. And then I played college football. Out of high school, I actually went to VMI, which is Virginia Military Institute, and started there. Started my college there, but then I transferred actually in the middle of my first semester, transferred to Pikeville College, which is in Pikeville, Kentucky, and played 4 years there at Pikeville College. And actually that's where I had the connection to Anderson County. Coach Gillum, Davey Gillum, was the offensive coordinator at Pikeville for a couple of years that I played there, and actually played at Pikeville with his brother Russ. We played together for a few years, and so when Dave left, I think he went to Scott County for a while, and then ended up the head coach at Anderson County. And I had graduated. I was teaching and coaching in Kentucky, and had that connection with Coach Gillum, and a position opened up, and thankfully I was blessed to get a job here, and my family was here already anyway, so it was just a perfect fit, and that's how I ended up at Anderson County.
Yes, my dad, he's from Southwest Virginia. He's from the Big Stone Gap.
Oh yeah, very familiar with that.
And I've heard of Grundy County. We went to several ball games over the years. When my dad was living, he used to like to go back and watch Powell Valley play. And,
Powell Valley had some good ones.
We went to Hurley one time.
Okay, yeah.
Hurley?
Oh yeah. Unfortunately, I have been to Hurley. It's the armpit of Virginia.
Oh, is it?
it's pretty rough spot early there.
We had there was a friend of my dad that went with us to the game one time, and he told my dad, he said, well, we just go up here and you turn right and keep on trucking.
Yeah.
And so we turned, we stopped at this gas station, just to get us get us something to drink, I believe, or whatever, get some gas maybe. And we asked the gas attendant, and he said, you know, where's how you get to Hurley? You know, we sort of hey, what's the best way to get there? And he said, well, just turn right and keep on trucking. So
Yeah.
so that was pretty ironic there, but I know you're also you know, you're the head wrestling coach and also assistant football coach at Anderson County. And what do you coach there in football?
Defensive line.
Defensive line coach.
Yep.
And now, when did you come to Anderson County?
2011 was my first year. The 2012 football season, I think.
Okay.
Yeah. So I guess 2012, not
Just a
2000.
little bit after Coach Gillum.
Yeah, not long. I think he'd been there 2 or 3 years when I got there.
Well, talk a little bit about your family.
Okay. My wife is Jessica Sloan. We've been married for 10 years. Got three children. My daughter is Gabriella. She's our oldest. She's going to turn 10 in March. We've got 2 other boys. The middle boy is 5. He'll turn 6 in March. And then our youngest just turned 3 in December. It's crazy at our house with the 3 kids, but we're hanging on by our fingernails. So
So you have your oldest is a daughter, and then
yep. Then 2 boys.
2 boys. Okay. What's your middle-age son's name?
Xavier.
Xavier. How old is he?
He's he'll be 6 in March. He's 6 in March, and then the youngest is Tyson. Yeah.
And your daughter says 10.
Yeah. Well, she'll be 10 in March.
10 in
yeah.
March.
9. 10 in March.
Is she playing sports?
She's just now started getting into volleyball a little bit. I think her mom, my wife, she played volleyball in high school, so maybe a little connection there got her. She's just now doing a little bit of volleyball stuff.
What about your middle-aged son?
He's wrestling. I've already got him into wrestling.
Yeah, I noticed some little kids wrestling last year or something.
Yeah, the younger you can get them started, the better. So we've already got him in there. He had a tough time competing. You know, when they're that young, sometimes a lot of people watching it kind of gets them a little bit nervous. And I had a rough time getting him to go out there a couple times, but he did good at practice and he's learning. So I think it'll be good for him.
Does your wife where she go to school?
We met at Pikeville College, actually.
Okay.
Yep, she's from Eastern Kentucky. She was born and raised there in Virgie, which is a really small community there in Pike County. But I met her at college, and got married not too long after we graduated college. So.
Let's turn our attention over here to this young man. He doesn't need any introduction, but his name is Stone Cummins. And Stone, if you would, just tell everybody out there a little bit about yourself.
My name is Stone Cummins. I'm a senior at Anderson County. I wrestle and play football. Those are the 2 sports that I play, and I've been at AC for 3 years now, and I couldn't say anything bad about AC. I love it at AC.
Well, how strong is this kid, Coach Sloan?
He's unbelievably strong. He's definitely the strongest kid I've been around in high school athletics. Probably stronger than anybody I played with at Pikeville College, honestly, as a senior in high school. So he's put up some extremely impressive numbers. I wouldn't want to try to say what his numbers are because they're growing all the time. So I wouldn't want to say. I know I saw him hang clean 415 the other day on Facebook. That's unbelievable to me. So
Right, and I was telling a friend of mine today about Stone, was talking about him, was going to have him on the show, and that he is like you said, I think the strongest athlete that I've seen, especially around East Tennessee that I know of, especially in Anderson County, I guess, but I don't see how you could get much stronger than this young man. And
Right.
I know he's humble, he's modest, he's been raised right, and I know he don't like to talk about himself. We've had him on here before earlier this year football, and then last year we had him on. And but Stone, how strong are you? Just how much can you bench press?
Most I've ever bench pressed is 530.
530.
I did that 2 days ago.
I know your main lift event, I guess, is the squat.
Yes, sir.
And what are you squatting now?
I've squatted 800. Right now, I'm probably a little bit over that, but 800 is my best.
Do you have to continue to lift to keep that? I guess you have to be able to lift that much weight. You have to just work at it, I guess, and stay weight training.
Sir. Yes, sir, absolutely. It falls off quick. You don't realize it, but it does. It'll fall off real quick.
Well, we're going to take a little break right here, and our phone lines are open once again. You see the numbers there. Give us a call. We'd like to talk to you if you want a question or comments for Coach Sloan or for Stone over here. And, we're going to be back. We're going to talk some more with Stone and Coach Sloan, and we appreciate you watching. So we'll be right back here in a little bit. You're watching the Locker Room Chat.
Roan Metals Group has been serving East Tennessee for decades. Locally owned and operated with convenient hours of operation. Roan Metals buys all types of scrap metal. Nothing's too big or too small. Still have that clunker sitting around? We've been buying them for years. Roan Metals Group are specialists in industrial scrap. We have what it takes to get any size job done. Roan Metals urges you to recycle responsibly. Scrap with only licensed dealers. A member of the TSRA and the ISRI. Roan Metals Group. Turn that scrap into cash.
Muncie Pharmacy is your locally owned hometown pharmacy. They accept most insurances, so why go to the large chain pharmacies when you get better customer service at Muncie Pharmacy? Have a special prescription that needs compounding? Muncie Pharmacy can handle those needs as well. Muncie Pharmacy has a drive-through for your convenience and offers free delivery in the Oak Ridge area. And don't forget the gifts that we have available for all occasions.
Here at Muncie Pharmacy, we take the time to know you and treat you like family.
At Earl F. Subaru, providing exceptional customer service is what we do best, and we've got the awards to prove it.
We've been recognized as Tennessee's only 9-time winner of the Love Promise Customer Commitment Award. And again this year, we also earned the Love Promise Community Commitment Award given for enhancing the areas we serve. At Earl F. Subaru, we're more than just a car lot. We're a retailer you can love and one that gives back to local causes. Check out our reviews and come to Earl F. Subaru.
Take I-40 to exit 356 to our brand new location on Gallaher Road in Kingston, or see our online specials at duffsubaru.com.
At OEB Law, our home is your home. And your family is our family. And down here, family takes care of family. Giving back and helping out whenever needed. OEB Law is proud to be from East Tennessee. OEB Law feels like home.
Life is made of moments. Moments to share. Moments that are special. And those that are everyday. How do we meet these moments for over 2 million people across 23 counties in East Tennessee? We will meet them not as just a group of hospitals, but as one community of care. Because this is about you, and it's about time. Covenant Health. For every moment.
Live and Let Live Drugstore in downtown Rockwood is your gift destination. Shop the new plush selection for that special someone. We have Bath & Body Works popular fragrances and custom gift baskets too. Live and Let Live has a wide selection of gift and home decor for any occasion, from yard flags to selected jewelry, plus much more. We have Big Orange giftware always available year-round. And don't forget to enjoy a soda fountain treat while you shop. Live and Let Live Drugstore, Gift Shop, and Soda Fountain in downtown Rockwood.
Welcome back into the locker room chat, and my guests tonight are head coach of the Anderson County Wrestling Program, Matt Sloan, and he's brought one of his grapplers. Is that what you call them?
Yeah, grapplers works.
Grapplers, and Stone Cummins. They called him Diesel in football, I believe. I think I'm gonna start calling him like Stone Mountain. You know, he's he's just like a rock. You know, have you ever been to Stone Mountain, Georgia?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Just a big rock up there, and it's like a mountain. That's what a Stone is. That's how strong he is. And we're gonna talk to Stone here in a little bit. Right now, we got a call coming in. Let's go ahead and take that. Locker room chat. You're on the air. Go ahead, caller. Go ahead, caller. You're on the air.
Yeah, Coach Sloan, this is Coach Terry. Just calling to check in with you there.
Hey, what do you say, GT?
Just wanted to congratulate you on a great season so far. You've done a great job right there. As usual, your team finished up there at the top, and just wanted to congratulate you on air right there, and let's talk a little bit about what's coming up here in the next few weeks for these guys as they get ready to go to state.
Yeah, we I appreciate that. We won our fourth district championship in a row on the 14th, January 14th. We wrestled that at AC, and so actually tomorrow night we'll wrestle in the region duels. We're gonna see Seymour first. If we're able to beat Seymour, then we'll advance to the region championship and most likely wrestle Halls. And then, so if we beat Seymour, we'll actually also qualify for, it's like a sub-state this year. So we'll go and wrestle depending on whether we win the region or finish second in the region, we'll wrestle either the region champ from Region 1 or the region runner-up from Region 1.
Is that something new this year they put in the wrestling?
The sub-state thing is...
that's cool. I like that.
Yeah, they used to have 16 teams, you know, at one venue there in Franklin, Tennessee, but they decided, 16 was maybe too much with everything going on, so they're only taking the 8 teams to the actual state tournament there, and I don't even think it's in Franklin. I think it's in Chattanooga.
So in the past, say you were runner-up in the region, that would be it?
Yeah, well, you'd go, there was always a state tournament, right? But the top 2 teams in the region would always advance to the state tournament. And so this year, you only advance to the sub-state.
So it's going to be a little bit tougher to get
tougher to get to the state tournament for sure this year. Yep.
Yeah.
Coach Terry, got any other questions or comments? I appreciate
Coach,
you calling in.
Yeah, I just wanted to, once again, as we move through the team part of the state championship, can you talk a little bit about how individuals, I know you've got a rich tradition right now in just the short time we've had wrestling of taking guys to the individual state championship, and that's coming up after the state, or after the team state championship, and we almost always, I think almost every year, we've had kids at Anderson County go down and wrestle in the state tournament as individuals, representing Anderson County High School, which has been outstanding.
Oh yeah, we've been real successful, the past few years, and that's a good point he brings up. When wrestling, there's sort of a team postseason, and then there's an individual postseason, and the difference is, in a team match, every kid from Anderson County would wrestle every kid from Halls. But in an individual format, there'd be a bracket for each weight class, and all of the teams would have that wrestler in that weight class, and they would wrestle each other to see who's the individual champ.
Will that be after the state tournament?
That'll be after the state duels.
That's what they call it, duels.
Yes,
right?
sure. Mm-hmm.
So the individuals are after the duels.
Yes, and we've over the past 3 or 4 years, we've probably averaged, out of 14 weight classes, we've probably averaged somewhere between, I'd say 8 to 10, on a good year, 12 kids that will qualify for the state tournament individually. So we feel like that's pretty good, sending that many to the state. So.
That's outstanding.
great, yeah. And like I said, it keeps rolling year after year. It's fun to watch as an athletic director, watch our program that we started. Coach Sloan started that program, and it's watch that thing grow and watch us, fill it as a first year with a few weight classes, and to watch it now with every weight class represented. And there's some guys waiting in the wings to get in those weight classes. So we actually have more guys than we do weight classes sometimes, and that's fun to watch as well. And it's just going to get bigger, and we're excited. We've got a middle school youth program that's out there that's headed our way, and very excited about those young kids as they come to the high school level. And Matt's got a girls program we're going to start next year. It's going to be in addition to the boys program that we currently have. And like I said, it's going to be big. It's going to be fun and continue to grow each year. And that's exciting for Anderson County High School to have a program that's growing and very healthy right now.
Yeah, I read about girls wrestling and some other schools having girls wrestling. So that's going to be, you're going to start that up next year?
Yeah. We are actually the guy that runs our middle school, Coach Baldwin, Chris Baldwin. His daughter is a 2-time state champ and would have been a 3-time state champ if the tournament hadn't been canceled last year. So she'll be a freshman next year. So yeah, we got to get it rolling because she's gonna compete quick.
So she's been wrestling already in middle school?
Yeah. She's, 3, 4, maybe 5 years she's been wrestling.
Wow.
So, yeah.
Yeah. So, as we talk about our past wrestlers and our tradition, you talk about a guy that's come back to us that's helping us coach right now. I don't know if you got a second to talk about Coach Tate Holmes. He was one of our first wrestlers. He came to us there, started our wrestling program, got a scholarship to wrestle in college, and now he's back with us as an assistant coach. Come full circle right there, and that's really what this whole thing's about, is giving kids opportunities and watching those kids take those opportunities, go to the next level, and then return it back to their high school and community is a really nice thing to see for us. And like I said, Tate Holmes is a great one. He's on our all-state wall at the high school there, and we're certainly glad to have him back.
Oh yeah, I couldn't be more excited to have Tate in the room. He came to us as a sophomore, had already won a region championship as a freshman at a different school, and then won 3 region championships in a row at Anderson County. As a junior, he placed 3rd in the state, and then as a senior, he was in the finals of the state championships, and lost a tough one in the finals as a senior, but was in that match too with a really good kid, had a real good shot at winning a state championship there. And then, like Coach said, he spent the past 4 years wrestling at Reinhardt University in Georgia under Coach Bedard. And Coach Bedard, he's wrestling elite. He was I want to say he was an alternate in the Olympics one year, so he's been at the top of the sport. And Tate's been, wrestling under him over the past 4 years, and he's brought all that experience to our room, and it's exciting to have him there too.
Coach Terry, sounds like you got another program really doing well. As athletic director there, you have your football program that's had undefeated seasons here recently. You got the volleyball program, runner-up in the state. Now you got wrestling, and it just seems to continue to have a lot of success there in your sports program.
Big tribute to our coaches and our assistant coaches. They put in a lot of time. They build the relationships with the kids as they grow up, not just when they get there to the high school. That's a standard for us at Anderson County, is that we support our middle schools and youth leagues, and we get to know those kids, and they get to know us and build those relationships so that when they get to us, we know them and they know us. We know their parents, a lot of their families, those types of things. And so when they come there, we've watched them grow up, and they've grown up in our program and know the expectation and the standard, and no surprises for them right there. Like I said, he's got a great youth program and a great middle school program. and they're continuing to grow each year. And we had to get an extra place this year for them to wrestle because there's so many of them, and it's just a fun problem to have and a fun problem to solve when you got more wrestlers than you got room to put them. And like I said, it carries over. And like I said, our expectation of Stone Cummins when he leaves Anderson County High School is to go get his degree at Co. and bring that back to Anderson County and be a part of this thing. And that's what we're asking our guys to go do, and who we're asking them to be. And we're excited about Stone and watching him go off. And like I said, he's a great football player. We know he's going to do great things in football. We know he's going to be a great wrestler up there at Co. And we need him to go get his degree. We know he can do that too. He's a great student in Anderson County and a great representative in our community. We've been very fortunate to have him. He leads our program at the community service events, and he leads our program down the school with his grades and his attitude and those types of things. And then he comes up there on the football field and does what he does there at a high level. And now he's continuing that on the wrestling mat. And if you've not gotten a chance to watch him, John, you need to come down and see him wrestle because it's a lot of fun to watch.
I've seen some highlights. I saw also on Channel 95 they showed the duels there with Clinton and another school. I think was it Carnes?
Carnes and Clinton Carnes and Powell.
Yeah, I saw that, and it was really. He made quick work out of it.
Yes, he did.
Yeah, he does. Matt, you talk about a couple of our other weight classes and give those guys some shout-outs. I know we got some really good young guys out there and some freshmen that are showing some promise, some guys that, we'll talk about this in just a minute, some guys that are carryovers from other sports. They come in and give wrestling a shot and find out they're pretty good at it.
Yep.
And those things carry over into other sports, and other sports carry over into wrestling. So it's kind of fun. I know give you a few minutes to talk about a few guys that we have on our roster that are doing two sports and giving great effort in both.
Yeah, we've got quite a few guys that are doing well, having good years. So I would start probably with 113. Lucas Pruitt is a sophomore. He's having a really good year. Been wrestling for 4 or 5, maybe 6 years. He's got some experience, so he's had a real good year. Our heavyweight Jaden Bullock has come a long way. He's a sophomore. He's a football player. Last year was his first year, and he was just kind of learning what was going on. And this year he's won a lot of matches that I think he surprised himself a little bit. Won some matches that he didn't know he could win.
What's the weight for that heavyweight?
You have to be under 285.
Under 285?
Yep, at 285 or under, yep.
So what if you're 300? You can't wrestle?
You got to drop weight to 285 if you want to wrestle, yep. Mm-hmm. I think it used to be unlimited at one point a long, long time ago, but they've capped it at 285 now.
Good.
But he's done well. Our 152 Aiden Derry, he goes by LeBron, but he's had a good year. He's unorthodox. he gets to it in some different ways, but he still wins a lot of matches and has had a good year for us. All our guys have worked real hard in the wrestling room. I think we're in better shape this year than we have been all year because we've got a lot better attitude, a lot better mentality in the room. I could mention everybody about how hard they've worked. There's no way around it in wrestling. You have to push and you have to work hard. So I commend all those guys, everybody in the room for being there every day for the most part and working hard. So.
Any other?
Talk about just a little bit about how wrestling is also for guys. Maybe they're not tall enough to play basketball, or maybe they don't. They can't hit a baseball because you gotta hit a baseball when you're 5 all the way through when you're 14. But they come out and they find something special in wrestling. Talk about maybe if you got one like that.
Yeah. So the great thing about wrestling, or one of the great things about wrestling, is it's divided into 14 different weight classes. So if you weigh 106 pounds, you're never going to wrestle anybody that weighs more than 106 pounds. So it's not like football where, if you're 60-pound lineman, you might have to go up against the 300-pound lineman. We've got those weight classes, and really there's all different shapes and sizes in each weight class. There's tall, lanky guys, there's short, stocky guys, and each one has its advantages. You know, you can got a low center of gravity, and you can keep people from getting to your legs when you're short like that. When you're tall and lanky, when you go to take a shot to try to get to a leg, it's, you know, that reach helps you get there a little quicker. So there's advantages to every body type, really. And we've got a lot of guys that you know, we got a lot of two-sport guys, but we've got some guys that, like Coach was saying, have found a home with wrestling, and aren't really competing in any other sports. How
many kids you have in your program?
High school this year, right now, we've got 16. Those numbers are a little bit down, and honestly, we're missing probably 4 or 5 guys that I anticipated having that I think maybe had some concerns with you know, COVID and stuff. So I think our numbers would have been a little bit better on a normal year than that. But then in our middle school and youth program, over the past couple of years, he's averaged around 70 kids. That's from kindergarten up through 8th grade. But his numbers are down a little bit too this year for the same reason, I think. But you know, when things get back to normal, I think we'll continue to grow and increase our numbers hopefully every year.
That's pretty strong, say from kindergarten to the middle school. I didn't realize had that many kids.
Yeah, Coach Baldwin does a great job.
If you come, Coach Sloan hosts an event each year. You didn't get to host it this year, but next year we'll host it for sure. These youth wrestlers, when we have that event, you've got to come watch them. It is super fun. There's a ton of people there. It may be the most packed the gym is the entire year with the amount of people that are in there on a normal year to watch 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10-year-olds battle it out on the mat. And it is so much fun, so much energy, so much excitement to see these little guys get after each other, and girls too. These 6, 7, 8-year-old little girls, they get after each other on that mat, and you don't want to get in between them when they get going.
When is that?
That is the second weekend in January, typically. It's our AAU tournament, and
it's coming up here.
Well, we didn't get to have it this year.
I didn't get to have it.
A lot of those AAU tournaments have been canceled this year because of, you know, COVID concerns. But man, Coach is right. When we had it the year before, I may screw this number up, but I think we had somewhere around 250 kids participating in that event all day, and so you've always got parents and grandparents there, and it's packed. It's a pretty neat little atmosphere.
I bet. Coach Terry, any more questions or comments? You've had some good ones.
Let everybody know that Matt's doing a great job in wrestling. He's a great math teacher at our school. Does a super job. He leads our 7 a.m. class, so you may have him up past his bedtime right now. He's got to get up early and be at school at 7 a.m. for math class for the early morning math kids. So just want to congratulate him on a great season. He's done a great job leading our program, and like I said, he does a great job in our school teaching our kids. So parents out there, you know, you're going to have a great math teacher and a great coach and a great leader in our school, and Matt Sloan.
Thanks, Coach. I appreciate that.
Coach Terry, thank you for calling in.
You're welcome. Thanks for having us down there.
Well, you're welcome. I appreciate all your help.
Yep. See you soon.
All right. That was Coach Gary Terry, Athletic Director at Anderson County, and appreciate him calling in. He had a lot of great questions, comments, things that I was going to ask you, and I'm glad he asked those. Also, Anderson County program. When did the wrestling program start?
So I was there a year before we started it. So 9 years ago, we started the program. We're in our 9th year right now. So I guess that would have been 2012 that we started that.
So was you the first coach or the second?
So I think Anderson County had, I think Anderson County had a wrestling program back in the 90s. I think Mr.
Yeah, I've seen some old pictures of that.
Mr. Freeman, one of our assistant principals, I think, was on one of those wrestling teams. But they ended the program for whatever reason there in the 90s, and so I've been the only coach there since we started it back 9 years ago.
Right. Okay. Well, that's outstanding. Right now we're going to go ahead and take another break, and I promise we're going to get back here and talk to Stone Cummins, and we'll be right back. You're watching the Locker Room Chat.
At OEB Law, our home is your home. And your family is our family. And down here, family takes care of family. Giving back and helping out whenever needed. OEB Law is proud to be from East Tennessee. OEB Law feels like home.
Live and Let Live Drugstore in downtown Rockwood is the premier pharmacy service location. Let our professional staff help with all your pharmacy needs, answer your questions, or help with your medication management with our Medicine on Time packaging system. We also offer medication therapy management to ensure you're receiving maximum benefits from your medication. Diabetes care is available with one-on-one consultations, or you can attend one of our monthly diabetes information classes. Live and Let Live Drugstore in downtown Rockwood.
We treat you like family at RMG. Bring your junk, cars, aluminum cans. We buy it on the spot and we pay you a lot. We treat you like family at RMG. Yeah, we treat you like family at RMG. We treat you like family.
Rome Metals is located just off of Highway 27 between Harriman and Rockwood.
Life is made of moments. Moments to share. Moments that are special. And those that are everyday. How do we meet these moments for over 2 million people across 23 counties in East Tennessee? We will meet them not as just a group of hospitals, but as one community of care. Because this is about you, and it's about time. Covenant Health. For every moment.
At Earl F. Subaru, providing exceptional customer service is what we do best, and we've got the awards to prove it.
We've been recognized as Tennessee's only 9-time winner of the Love Promise Customer Commitment Award. And again this year, we also earned the Love Promise Community Commitment Award given for enhancing the areas we serve. At Earl F. Subaru, we're more than just a car lot. We're a retailer you can love and one that gives back to local causes. Check out our reviews that come to Earl F. Subaru.
Take I-40 to exit 356 to our brand new location on Gallagher Road in Kingston, or see our online specials at duffsubaru.com.
Muncie Pharmacy is your locally owned hometown pharmacy. They accept most insurances, so why go to the large chain pharmacies when you get better customer service at Muncie Pharmacy? Have a special prescription that needs compounding? Muncie Pharmacy can handle those needs as well. Muncie Pharmacy has a drive-thru for your convenience and offers free delivery in the Oak Ridge area. And don't forget the gifts that we have available for all occasions.
Here at Muncie Pharmacy, we take the time to know you and treat you like family.
Welcome back into the Locker Room Chat, and our guest is Matt Sloan, head coach of the Anderson County Wrestling, and also Stone Cummins, one of his wrestlers. We got a call right here, so go ahead and take it. Go ahead, caller, you're on the air.
Hey, John.
Hey, how you doing?
I'm doing good. Are y'all on the air right now?
Yes, sir, we're on the air. You're live on the air with Coach Sloan.
Coach Sloan, and is it Stone Cummins?
Stone's here as well.
Yeah, I just wanted to congratulate Stone. I've heard his name often in football. I didn't know he was a wrestler, but I heard y'all going over his weightlifting achievements, and his name definitely fits his physical strength.
Exactly.
I also want to say that I was at a high school wrestling match last week over at Gibbs High School in Knoxville, and high school wrestling is really a well-kept secret in a way when it comes to interest. It's a great spectator sport, and I would definitely encourage high school sports fans to get out and support high school wrestling. It's a really, as I was saying, a really good spectator sport.
Yeah,
and I know,
especially if you have a family member wrestling.
Yeah.
Well,
really get into
definitely, definitely. But even if you just knew somebody in your neighborhood that was wrestling, or it's just a good spectator sport, so I wish Stone the best wishes in the tournament. It's also the wrestling sport is also takes great conditioning, physical conditioning, and those wrestlers really put a lot of time and a lot of hard work into getting into shape. It takes a lot out of you to go out there and wrestle. It's kind of like boxing, it takes a lot out of you.
Yep.
Yeah, I would certainly echo those sentiments.
Yeah, we think it's the toughest high school sport there is. If you can wrestle, you can handle any of it.
And guys, just one more thing, as we're talking about Anderson County, with the UT football coaching situation coming to a close here today, I was kind of hoping that Jamie Chadwell might get an opportunity at that job, but apparently he did not. So, but he's doing a great job down there at Central or Coastal Carolina.
Yeah, I'm sure you remember Jonathan when he was quarterback at Anderson County. They're in the mid-'90s.
Who is that?
Jonathan Chadwell, or no, excuse me, Jamie.
Yeah.
Jonathan's his brother, but Jamie. I'm sure you remember him playing.
Yeah, he had right. Wasn't he originally from Campbell County?
I believe so.
Yeah, I think he was.
Played high school ball at Anderson County, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. What position did Jamie play in high school?
He was quarterback.
Okay.
He
Do you know John White?
Yeah, wore number 21. I think Heath Shooter was one of his heroes, I believe.
Oh, it must have been.
He sort of played like Shula. He was that type of quarterback.
Okay.
I see. Well, goodness gracious. Well, yeah, Heath Shooter was a great one, and if Jamie was anything like him, he definitely was a good football player. I didn't know he wore number 21. But he's having a lot of success down there at Coastal Carolina, and I was kind of hoping that maybe he might have got a shot at that UT football job. I think they got a good coach hired today, but our ties, us folks that live here in East Tennessee, we'd like to see one of our guys come back and coach the Volunteers, and I was kind of hoping he might get that opportunity. But maybe the good Lord has another path for him to follow, and we wish him the best of luck down there at Coastal Carolina. I know he's got a great...
Maybe down the road, another 3 years maybe, who knows. But Steve, we appreciate you calling in. I want to visit with Stone here.
I'll get off here and I'll be watching. And again, congratulations, Stone. Keep up the good work. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you for calling in, and let's get with Stone here. We got about 10 minutes left in the program, and Stone, do you have a go-to wrestling move?
My go-to.
How's that work now?
It's a single leg head on the outside shot. It's you can get to it from any tire, from space, and it's if your head's on the outside and you try to cut the corner and turn it to a double, almost like a football tackle.
Okay, I know Coach Terry mentioned something about Cole college is in Iowa, and
Yes, sir.
Is that where you are going to go to college?
Yes, sir. I'm going to go to Co and play football and wrestle there.
Okay, what division is that?
Division III.
Division III, and it's Co, C-O-E, is that how you spell it?
Yes, sir.
Co College, and you're going to be wrestling and football.
Yes,
right?
sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir, I am.
I know you had you on back in football season. You mentioned that's something that you might like to do that, so that's great that you'll be able to do that in both sports. And also, I was reading something a while back in the Clinton Courier that what you look for in a school is like a school that had a winning tradition.
Yes, sir. Absolutely. Co is top 5 nationally in wrestling, and they are top 3 in football in their conference. So they have a very winning tradition there, which is that's what I want to be around, especially since that's all I've ever been around at AC. So.
Is that in what city is that in Iowa?
Cedar Rapids.
Cedar Rapids.
Yes,
okay,
sir.
that's a pretty big town. Cedar
Yes,
Rapids.
sir. It's right next to Iowa University.
Okay, yeah. Well, that's great. After college, looking down the road, what would you like to do?
I want to own my own gyms. Me and my dad have always lived together, and him and his dad lived together, so that's something I want to do with my boy. And I want to own my own gyms. That way we have something to do together.
Like a weightlifting gym? And,
yes, sir.
Yeah, I know your dad and went to school with him. I know, and your grandfather as well, always into wrestling. I remember, not wrestling, but lifting growing up, and that's great you're following in that tradition. That's awesome.
I try to keep up with my dad. I'm not near about that strong.
Right. I know your dad has been a big influence in your life, and he's been there, helping you along the way, coaching you in football, and I know you was wanting to do some things that he would want you to do.
Yes, sir. Absolutely. He
didn't push you into anything.
No.
He's always been there for you.
Yes, sir. He's always coached me in everything and been a part of everything in my life. So that's a big. And he's going to move to Iowa with me. So
oh, is wow.
My family's moving to Iowa, me and him, and it'll be good.
Well, that's a family affair, and that's certainly admirable. I don't blame him one bit for that. I'm
yes,
sure you enjoy having him there. That's
yes,
pretty
sir.
good ways from home.
Yes, sir, it is. It was an 11-hour drive for us, so it's not a bad drive though. It's real pretty up there.
So you spent your freshman year at Webb School in Knoxville, and you came to Anderson County. What attracted you to Anderson County?
Like I said, the winning tradition at AC, and everything they do, they're good at, and so that's something you want to be a part of, especially if you're a competitive person. It's not fun losing. So I love everything at AC. It's where I'm from. I grew up playing at NAGAF and then went to school at Fairview, so I grew up around them and got to come home and be back with my buddies and not be over with people I didn't know in Knoxville. So
I know you're a native of Anderson County. I remember you playing football over at South Clinton.
Yes, sir.
You're a 2-time All-State football player at Anderson County. You made All-State last year in wrestling,
yes.
And I know you're wanting to be All-State again. What did you finish up last year? And I know you made the state last year.
I finished third.
Finished third.
Finished third in 195. Yes, sir.
So you're still wrestling at 195?
No, sir. I'm going to be wrestling heavyweight this year.
Oh, you're in heavyweight?
Yes, sir.
So
small heavyweight, but it's still heavyweight.
Do they have 2 different classes for heavyweight, or is it?
So 220 is the cutoff before it goes into heavy. So if you're under 220 pounds, then you'd be in that 220-pound weight class. If you're over 220, you'd be in the heavyweight weight class.
So you weigh about 220 now?
Yes, sir, I do.
Solid muscle, right?
I like to think so.
Yeah. I've seen you lift those tarps there for graduation. You throw those things up on your shoulder. I've never seen anybody. You know how heavy those things are at graduation.
Yeah,
Stone put one of those on his shoulder. It takes about 2 or 3 kids to carry one. And he just grunted just a little bit. That's all he did. That's tremendous. But what's your favorite sport?
Oh, nothing beats winning with a team in football, but nothing beats winning by yourself in wrestling. So it's hard to pick. I like both of them. I like the individual. It's all on how hard you work in wrestling, and I like the football because you get to be around people and your buddies and relationships and stuff.
Right. I know you're coach. I know you're close to Coach Sean Cross. He was your linebackers coach at Anderson County. I know he's out there watching. And talk a little bit about Coach Cross.
Oh, you don't have enough time for that. Coach Cross, he's a wild man. We've been buddies since sophomore year. He really took me in and took care of me, and there's not another linebacker and coach, I would say, in the country that I would like playing for as much as him. I love Coach Cross. I love all the coaches at AC. I spend a lot of time with Coach Sloan. I enjoy all of it. I love being around Coach Sloan. I love being around all of it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I was going to ask you about it, Coach Sloan. How you like playing under him?
It's fun. We have good times all the time.
Make it fun?
Yes, sir.
Players coach, right?
Sometimes
Absolutely.
it ain't fun for me. He hammers me in the room.
And we got a couple minutes left in the show. And when did you start playing sports, Stone?
Started football when I was 4 years old, and I started wrestling when I was 12.
Okay, and do you have any favorite moments while you've been in Anderson County?
Oh, too many to pick from, honestly. I love.
Right.
There's never a bad moment.
Right. All of them were special.
Yes, sir. Absolutely.
What's some advice you'd like to give the young kids out there?
Oh, just work hard, especially in wrestling. Absolutely. You don't come in and just be a stud day one. You absolutely take lumps and bruises and beatings, but it's the same thing for everything. You take those and you keep working, and finally you get to it.
You give a shout out to anybody out there?
Dad, my dad and my grandma, they're both watching at the house.
Okay, and who's your pick in the Super Bowl?
Oh, Chiefs. Chiefs are my team. That's always have been. My dad's been a Chiefs fan since 1967 when they won the Super Bowl. So that's my team.
That's great. Well, Coach Sloan, I thank you for being here once again, and Stone, as you as well. Appreciate y'all coming out, and wish y'all best of luck.
Thank you for having us.
Yeah, thanks for having us. We appreciate it.
You've been watching the Locker Room Chat, and we'll see you next week.